as someone who runs a war crimes unit in Ukraine and the parts of the Middle East, and as someone that has worked in Gaza since I'm 21 years old, from the first Intifada, I worked consistently in Gaza. What has happened with us watching, the international community allowing what has happened, has been probably the most shocking and distressing thing I've seen in my lifetime. And I've gone through 18 wars and 3 genocides. What we're doing is creating double standards of humanitarian assistance. There is one set of laws for Ukraine, and I work in Ukraine, and I'm very deeply loyal to what is happening there. But there is one thing that happens in Ukraine, and there's another thing that happens in Gaza. If a bomb falls on a hospital in Ukraine, Ursula von der Leyen says it's a war crime, and 6 people are killed. If many bombs fall in Gaza, and hundreds of people are killed overnight, well, that's Israel's right to defend themselves. How many thousand children? 13,000 children have been killed in Gaza. We barely focus on that. But when there's one family, and the Israeli hostage family that came back, the world suddenly is stunned and empathetic. What has happened to us as human beings if we allow this to happen on our watch? I don't know about you, but I can't sleep at night, and I can't live with myself knowing that we are allowing this to happen. We said never again after the Holocaust, and yet what we have right now is an absolute catastrophe, and beyond any kind of cruelty, Israeli policy has got to stop. And the international community has got to step in and do something for once, without double standards.
There are human rights organizations. There are Israeli human rights organizations. There are UN experts who are calling this a genocide. And then there's clear genocidal intent. You just have to listen to Israel Katz, what he said this week, that you either get out or you're going to be exterminated. Today, talking also about annexation. I mean, entire families are still being wiped out. This is a clear case of ethnic cleansing. There is not one family in Gaza that has not lost a member. Just this week, there's one family with 20 members that were killed. When you talk about 200 children, by the way, that's not just a figure from the Hamas-run ministry. That's a figure from UNICEF and from UNRWA as well. 200 children in less than 48 hours. What is this? And then this is Gaza, but we look at the West Bank. Just today, there was a decision to demolish 95 homes in the camps of Jenin, 85 in another camp near Nablus. And usually the numbers are higher when the destruction actually happens. So what's happening here is that there's a government that wants to eliminate the Palestinians from their land.
If you want to go to international law and you want to look at genocide, and many people are reluctant to call it genocide, but the statements, Dalal is absolutely right. We don't need to do too much work because the Israeli government is doing it for us. Their statements
They're outspoken about
intent.
their genocidal intent.
The images that the Israeli IDF soldiers take on their own cameras documenting their own war crimes, they're giving us plenty of evidence.